The bomb squad are here. Down. The road is sealed across. And there's a police car stopping on guard there. I'll tell you what's going on now in a second. Right, it is 1:30 in the morning, and I need to get my cigarettes. Sorry. It's 1:30 in the morning, and the road just up from me here has been sealed off by the police. I had no idea what was going on. The police car just passing now. I had no idea what was going on. Somebody rang me and told me that there's been a number of incidents throughout the city involving suspect devices. So it's not a good night, to be honest. It's not good. As you've seen there, bomb disposal experts is on the scene now. So yeah, I'm just sort of sitting out, seeing what's going on. Earlier in the night, there was police dogs come in the area and stuff like that. So I'm not going to bed in a situation like this. So I decided I'd stay up for a while. You know, actually, this is going on a couple of hours, and I actually done a spurt box session. So I don't know which one is going to go out first, but I was out here for an hour seeing what was going on and doing a spurt box session at the same time. See could I pick up anything, you know? Want to thank 40 people this month for subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much. It's been a very, very difficult year, and between the worldwide situation and my health, it hasn't been brilliant, but things are turning on both ends, you know. We're getting a little bit more sort of freedom in that, so you know, we might be able to get out and see local places and stuff. So hopefully we'll get out to a place soon. I've preoccupied myself with ITC for the last year, and have tons and tons of spurt box sessions, and I've got 2 channels. So if you don't see the spurt box session 1 channel, it will be on the other one. Now, the Life After Life ITC Research, Life After Life Productions ITC Research is the 2nd channel where I put a lot of my spurt box sessions, you know. So yeah, but as I says, there's been a number of these incidents throughout the night tonight. You know, it's one of those nights where it's been a bit strange. You know, you don't know when to expect a situation like this to happen, you know, especially around here. It's just lately there's been sort of an increase in incidents and stuff, and it's not good, you know. But just wanted to thank all the new subscribers, and thank the people that have stuck by me for the last while. You know, people that don't know me. I am big into the paranormal. I have a lot of equipment. I mean, like, I have lots and lots and lots, and it's at the moment, and for the last year, sitting in boxes and doing nothing. But hopefully we can make full use of it in the future, you know. I have over 20 hacked radios and spirit boxes, a load of different types of EMF meters, EMF sensors, REM devices, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, we're hoping to bring all that stuff forward as we move forward, like, you know. So and I don't work on my own. I have Rachel, who got activity the first night she started, and she hadn't been on a channel before, so you know, she ended up getting the nickname REM Pod Rachel, because she was the first person to get one of my REM pods to go off on response, so that she ended up with the nickname REM Pod Rachel, you know. But she is the type of person that doesn't sort of fully engage in the community, and I think she's sort of right too. The community that's been around us, sort of thing. She is more interested in going out on investigations with us, you know. You know, she's more interested in the hands-on, sort of go out and do an investigation for the night. I sort of do all the editing and the reviewing and stuff, and then I show her, sort of thing. But yeah, she doesn't, you know, in a way, not being fully sort of involved in the community and not being a fan of other channels, she's not picking up bad habits, kind of thing, you know. So it's good in that way. But right from the word go, she's been pretty good, you know. There's another police car just arrived. Things are getting... I'm not going to be pointing the camera over these police officers as they're doing their job, because it's just not me, sort of thing, you know. Just leave them to. There's another police officer, a police car. Yeah, I'm not going to go to bed and this situation's happening under my nose, you know, this kind of way. So yeah, you know. It would have been easier to go live, and I could react to people's comments, but it's possibly too noisy out here and that, so, and it is very late at night, so, you know. But yeah. Oh, you're not going to see in the dark, but I have... Hopefully I can make a video on it, but outside of paranormal, I've been rolling some quartz stones and stuff, tumbling, rock tumbling. That's my sort of new hobby in that. And when I get some rocks fully tumbled, I'll show you all, and I'll show you the rock tumbler. And I have a polisher as well, so I finished them off with a polishing and that, and the rocks that go into the tumbler, they come out completely different, and when they're polished up, you start to see the transparency in them and the little bits of sort of impurities and that kind of give it its character, and you don't see them on the bare, you know, on the rough rock where it's not polished. It's only these when it's polished, that's when it starts to show its beauty, if you know what I mean. So that's been pretty interesting, but you really need patience for it because it takes a long time to tumble rocks, you know. But yeah, oh, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to have a controlled explosion or what the flip is going on. But yeah, 2 bomb disposal vans has just passed. Not a good situation at all. But before the lockdown, I had planned to go further afield and show you more and more places, because Ireland is full of very historic places, lovely castles, lots and lots of opportunity. And then that plan went to bits when the lockdown happened. So there was nothing I could do about that. So I decided to use that time to learn a bit more about ITC, learn a bit more about audio, and the reason why I focused on audio is because audio is the one thing that we've got the most evidence from, you know. So that's why I've sort of focused on audio. I had a brief introduction to it while I was at school. My science teacher was big into the paranormal, and I got to work with him a little bit after school and that, so I got a little bit of a brief introduction to recording and EVPs and stuff like that. But yeah, things have changed a lot since. Of course there's people that still use the old ways, the old tape recorders and stuff, and I have tape recorders, you know. I have tape recorders, I have loads of digital recorders. Most the thing is, you go out to an investigation, and you sometimes pick up the EVPs on your camera's record or audio, when you're not expecting it. You know, you may call out with just a camera, and you may get a response, and it'll come through on the camera's audio rather than the piece of recording equipment itself. And that's why sometimes, you know, sometimes I'd go out with a spurt box and a recorder and in my pocket, and just a camera. As much equipment as I have, sometimes I like going back to basics, especially if you're in a place where you have to walk around a lot. I don't want to carry too much, but I have been in a habit since I started this, that where every time I went outside the door, I always had a camera, a spirit box, a voice recorder, and 1 or 2 other things. So my bag was always had some sort of equipment, because you never know when the opportunity, you know, you never know when you're going to get an opportunity, you know. But the situation is not exactly brilliant here. Earlier on, I was doing the spurt box. There was a lot of cars coming down the road and having to be turned around on the roundabout and that. So I don't know if the spurt box, the audio, I don't know if the audio is going to be that great, but yeah. 2 more cars coming. I'm kind of on edge. This is not a situation that I want to go to bed. Well, there's a situation on outside my door. Police car. And a civilian car. Been out here a while. I've been out here a while doing the spurt box and stuff like that, and the amount of police cars that past is unbelievable. It's heavy presence, you know. So yeah, but that is the situation. Yeah, we've been in this situation before, unfortunately, and it was during the day, and I actually done a kind of a quick video on that, but I don't generally like to give these kind of I don't like to give these incidents much attention, to be honest with you. Yeah. But yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, we've done investigations, but my thoughts on investigations is you need to go back to the same place a number of times. And for us, we can only label one place as a proper investigation, and that was Dunry Fort, and I put that in a playlist. There's 6 episodes there, but we went there 6 times. And the reason why we only call that a full investigation is because, yeah, it's good. You have ghost hunting groups that go out. They go out on a Saturday night. They're off. They might work during the week and they're off at weekends and that. And Saturday night is the night they go out to do their ghost hunt or mini investigation. I would call them a mini investigation kind of thing. And yes, you get evidence and that, but to fully investigate, you sort of need to go back. Now, you might go out for a night for a couple of hours and pick up a few things. The idea there is, yes, get your information, get your pieces of evidence, but go back and try to get more to put a bigger picture together, kind of thing. That's basically what our goal is when it comes to investigating. That's a lorry. Yeah, it's a delivery lorry. I'm just going to wait until this truck passes. And that's actually what we've done with Dunry Fort. We've had 6 episodes there, and and toast, that's not even over, So we want to get back there. The last place we went to was a place called Inch Island, and we decided we'd investigate on the beach. And yeah, we got a couple of things. It was the first time using the flashy balls, and the thing was, I'd throw the flashy balls down into the sand, and they would sort of make a dent in the sand. So all that sand would be kind of a shock-proof, a shock-resistant surface and that. And we've had them balls go off a couple of times. Nothing overly exciting throughout that night until we decided we would look at another area of the island before we went home, and pulled up outside a wooded area and says, right, we'll just bring a camera, or well, I put a spirit box in my pocket. So I decided, oh damn it, we'll bring a spirit box anyway. Went up through the trees, through a dirt road through these trees, a kind of a forested area on a hill. And we climbed this hill, and then we got to the top of it, and there was this big rock. It was like in a mountainous little hill sort of thing. We got onto the rock, and we decided to do a spirit box session. Next thing, I was doing the spirit box, so I handed Rachel the camera. Next thing, she started shaking with the camera and stuff, and I was wondering what, I didn't notice at the time until after the spirit box session, and then she told me, she says, I just had the shakes all over, like. But the spirit box session was kind of weird because it sort of insulted, what came out of it just verbally insulted me, which you wouldn't hear. It was basically called a fat C word, and I'm a little bit overweight. I don't know if I'm a C word, but I sort of put two together and thought, this is directed at me, sort of thing. But Rachel isn't the type of person to sort of jump to conclusions, or we go in and we do our thing, and if it's nothing happens, sort of thing. We don't put on an act for the camera for entertainment purposes. That's not our thing. We don't do scary thumbnails or scary clickbaity titles and stuff like that. So Rachel was shaking after the spirit box session, and it wasn't the spirit box session that said what came out of it or anything like that. She was just physically affected in some way. Thing was, sometimes that would, do you know when you get physical effects, you can't fully document them on camera, you know? You can only tell the camera what you're feeling and that. And that kind of evidence is evidence you can't really share, you can't prove, but your body is sensitive and it picks up stuff, and then, I learned through time to sort of express how I'm feeling and stuff like that, because up to the time I wasn't, but she was shaking. She says the shivers and that, and it wasn't that. It was a pretty nice night out. Like, it wasn't cold or anything like that. But as soon as we came off the rock, she was absolutely fine, And she spoke about that in another video kind of thing. But we got down to the car anyway, and two of us agreed, says we need to get back here again. And she says, oh yeah, definitely, like, even though she was negatively affected in some sort of way. Well, we don't know if she's negatively affected. That would be jumping to conclusions, but she was affected. She was affected quite severely, sort of thing. Maybe, I might have said in the past that she was negatively affected because, you put two and two together. I had a spirit box session that some negative stuff came out of it, and she was shivering and shaking and stuff like that, but it may not have been a negative effect. It was an effect, if you know what I mean. So, thing is, you could go back to a place and nothing might happen. We just might happen to be quite lucky on the night. But it's not an area with buildings or stuff like that. So it's just a forested area, So we have to continue on that because we wouldn't call ourselves investigators. We decided not to go back. Yeah, I mean, like, when it comes to YouTube, people like to say, right, we go to this place this week and we'll go to another place next week. But that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean you can't go back to a certain place a number of times. Do you know? I suppose in a live stream situation, you go to one place one week and then go to another place another week, and you go to a number of different places in the next couple of months, and then go back to the place you were the first time, that can still be an investigation, because before you go to that place again, go through the footage footage from the first recordings that you done, and if you got any evidence there, bring that forward into the next one, sort of thing. And you know, maybe they tie into each other, maybe they don't, but you can't sort of, you'll get a place that's pretty, you get a place with pretty good evidence one night, the next night could be completely flat, you know. It's just the luck of the draw. But there's people out there, they go out every night, they go out every couple of nights, or they go out every week. And some of these people that have massive amounts of subscribers, one particular person I'm not going to mention, but he's an awful habit of saying I'm freaking out right now. He's been doing this for years. He should be come to a stage, at this stage, where he should be used to it. No? There's been very, very few occasions where I've freaked out. I'm kind of a little bit freaked out tonight, but that's a completely different reason. It's not flipping paranormal, you know. But yeah. People ask me, how do you spot the people that are pulling the wool over your eyes? You know, people have a habit of seeing a good video, a good investigation or whatever, and then they make the decision there and then, oh, I'm going to support this person. Do your research on them, you know. How many videos have they done? Go through some of those videos and then make your decision, because then you have a picture. Is this person providing a shock value or a scare value that is sort of scripted, you know? How are we going to move forward? We're going to move forward sort of back to basics, like we've never seen a paranormal show on TV. Try to put that at the back of our mind and start from scratch, sort of thing, because we see a lot of teams out there, and we've done it ourselves. You know, I can put my hand up and say, you know, we all have to start somewhere now. But a lot of investigators that are going out now, it's all off the same script. It's all off how the TV shows do it. And we sort of don't want to do that, you know? And it's good to sort of every so often stop and rethink of what you're doing. Is it the right thing? So we're sort of going to go into our next part of paranormal investigating as if we never seen a TV show, and just investigating and sort of using our instincts, you know. I'm going to wait for these cars to pass. You know, over the years I followed other people, watched their content and stuff like that, been influenced by it. Thing is, a lot of people are copying everybody else, you know, and it's the same sort of cycle. Yeah, you can get results from it, but we sort of want to look at it in fresh eyes. And sometimes you can't look at things in fresh eyes if you're still influenced by other stuff that you watched. And that's why for the last year I've watched very, very little in the line of the paranormal on television, on YouTube, because I'm trying to sort of condition myself to go into the next part of this journey on a fresh slate, if you know what I mean. I'm sitting out in the balcony, there's police cars driving around the place. I hope I do not look suspicious, because I've been sitting out previously for about an hour with the spirit box, you know. It's actually quite a mild night. I might look relaxed, but I'm not. It's not a relaxing situation, if you know what I mean. But do we do it for YouTube? Do we do paranormal investigating for YouTube? In the beginning, I done abandoned explorers and stuff like that. I did do it for YouTube. And I done it for the experience as well, because it fulfilled my life, got me out. It gave me a sense of purpose. But to have a channel grow, it was great as well. But now that thought process is, that thought, or that mindset has kind of changed, because I'm sort of more into the paranormal and less about YouTube kind of thing. I use YouTube as a storage space for my stuff. Not that I don't put my evidence in raw in hard drives as well. You know, I do have everything that's recorded on camera in its raw state on hard drives as well, because when you go through YouTube, sometimes they compress and it's not the same format as audio. So I just I have these hard drives, external hard drives, and put my clips on that in folders. I put these separate folders that come off the camera into a folder, and in that folder then I would store the full video production itself that I'll put out on YouTube, because you never know what might happen to YouTube, you know. Yeah, I know it's successful and all the rest of it, you know, but so was other platforms at the time, you know. Thought they would never go away, and they did, you know. So and to be honest, we do this for us. We want to find out about the paranormal, so we're not into fancy productions and that. We do try and make an effort now and again when it comes to good places, you know. We try to make some sort of production and kind of learn about editing and stuff like that. But and it's great to get views. It you know, it makes you feel appreciated. But if you put the YouTube before the paranormal, what happens is you could slip into habits of doing things to attract more viewers, so you can feel more successful and more satisfied. And I try to stay away from that, because what I want is the evidence, you know. What I want is the evidence, and if we have the evidence, that's fine. Sometimes we do. I've done loads of spirit box sessions. Don't subtitle them. Put them out raw. Sometimes I picked up some brilliant stuff and it's missed. You know, second channel, 180 subscribers on it. I get about 20 views a session kind of thing on average at the moment. And sometimes I pick up good stuff, you know. But it's missed. It's missed in the whole YouTube thing. But I'm not going to. If I pick out a few things. I do tangle a little carrot at the beginning, but it's sort of. We all do a little bit of dangling carrots, but we don't dangle fake carrots, if you know what I mean. Earlier on there was a helicopter around doing surveillance and stuff like that, but there's none now, so these other situations that happened earlier in the night must have been sorted. But currently the road is still closed and there's still a police car blocking the road. This is really a mild night. Do you know, I've had a lot of health issues the last while, and this is the first time in a long time where I thought maybe I should go out tonight and do a spirit box session in a location and give people something to see. And then this happened. You know, there's no point in doing it now. There's no point in... When this situation has happened, there's no point in going out. You know? But... as it says, do you know, done enough spirit box sessions now to know for definite that something intelligent answers us back sometimes when we ask questions and stuff. Every time I do a session, always goes through my head. How are they communicating? Where are they? All those fundamental questions that we probably may not get an answer to. Some people think they turn on a spirit box session, next thing all these spirits start coming into their house and that. I think it's a wee bit more complicated than that. I think these spirits possibly are in a... We're in the same world, but these communicators are on a different frequency, so that's why we can't see them. Like I explained before, for people who watch television, you flick through the channels and you're on Sky, watching Sky, and you decide you change the channel to something else. You change it over to something else, a different frequency, and you don't hear Sky anymore. That doesn't mean that Sky doesn't exist, because it does, you know. It's the way I kind of see the spirit world in a way, you know. We can't see, but sometimes we can hear. Sometimes in a very rare occasion, we see, but we're on a different frequency, possibly, you know. And that's why we can't communicate like we can communicate with other human beings. They're not a visual and a constant communication open to that. But I'm throwing theories out there, you know. I'm just trying to show you what goes around in my head, the questions I ask myself, you know. Folks, I'm sitting out here for the last 40 minutes and I might look suspicious. You know, there's police cars going up and down here, and I'm sitting out in my balcony at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. It kind of doesn't look great. So I'm going to knock it on the head. And yeah, we'll get out soon. We'll try and get out soon, you know. You know, Rachel is itching to get out and that. And sometimes I take the mad notion and go out myself, you know. So I just go off and do me stuff and that. But health is starting to improve a little bit, less pain. So hopefully things are on the up, you know. But I haven't been seen on video for a while. I haven't been talking to the camera for a while. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to do that, you know. You know, I am tired and I want to go to bed, but another part of me says, no, stay up, you know. I don't know what to do. Folks, I'm gonna go. I'll see you in another video, you know. Hopefully I'll give you something to see soon, you know.